Hi everyone and welcome back to Bonsai Expression. As always, I'm Christoph, and yeah, looking around you can see it's quite bright. The sun's high in the sky and I'm being blinded. It's very blustery because we've just had a recent storm, and I'm not sure if we're at the tail end of it or the middle of it, but yeah, the wind's very blustery, as you can probably see with my greenhouses, well, polytunnels. But as promised from the last video, three more of my 15p maples. Now, as I said in the last one, they're not quite as good as my last maple, but see my hair's going everywhere. Here we have one, two. Oh, let's not drop these. And three. So, I'm going to be doing a little bit of work on these today. Nothing major, because as you can see, they're still quite sticks in pots, but we're just going to be trimming them back and getting them set ready for spring. So yeah, let's have a quick look in detail and give them a quick trim. I know you're dying to have a look at them. 15p, what a bargain. So let's get them on the bench and let's get some work on these. See you in a minute. Yay, so three more 15p maples. If you've not already seen the last 15p maple video, go check it out, because you know that one was a good one compared to these three. Not saying that these are terrible by any means, but that one was a real cracker compared to these. So these three ones, is that even the right expression? But let's crack on. So these three maples, the way I'm going to start with it, I'm going to do what's commonly known as a poo sandwich. So I'm going to go good, pretty poo, and then we'll finish off with a good one. So this is a relatively decent maple. So as you can start at the base, we've got a little bit of movement as it straightens up, and we split off into two. Give you a bit of a spin, and then it goes up straight again. We've got some branches all the way up, and again it splits off into two if it stays focused, and then we've got nice little twigging. So if I bring you in, I'm sorry about all the shaking, it's not me and the camera, it is actually the maple because it's so blustery. Let's put my hand behind it and bring it in focus. So you can see it's quite nice and twiggy as well towards the top. Everything's really nice about this tree. The only issue is it is quite long and leggy. We've got nothing towards the bottom here, so it's nice. We just need to force some growth towards the bottom and just bring it in. But I think this is going to be a nice one in the future as well. So as you can see, any little wind and that's just blowing everywhere. And if there is wind noise on this film, on this video, I do apologise. As I said, the UK is getting battered with a bit of storm edge at the moment. So what are we going to do with this one today? You might be asking. No idea what's going to be the front, because as you can tell, it's quite long and leggy. What I want to do though is just here, I'm just going to slide it towards me just so I'm not reaching. So let's just bring it in a little bit. So here, I'm just going to pick one of these two branches, and I think I'll keep this one just because here we've got this one here, but if you go up, I've got one here, and I will shorten this whole section. So I'm going to snip this whole section and bring it shorter. So for the time being, I'm just going to lose this branch on the right, just so we've got the one on the left. So let's get rid of that. There we go. So you can see we've got the right and the left there if I move out a little bit. So as you can see, this splits off into two, and then what I want to do here is I'm just going to cut this section here, bringing the tree down, and I'm just going to have this section here as my leader, shortening the tree, and hopefully that will then push the buds and the growth further down the tree. So let's get in here, cut there, shortening the tree down a hell of a lot more, forcing growth further down, and then we'll just move over here. As you can see, we've got a nice section of branch here, but this comes up on the top of the branch. Zoom on that one there. There we go. So this is on the top of the branch. So don't want that one. But what I will do is cut back there, and then just here, these buds, just here, these buds should pop. And now I will get, come on, this is difficult. Steady hand, come on, focus. Just come in and neaten that up. There we go. Let's put my hand behind it, see if it'll focus that way. There we go. So now that buds will pop. Move around here. Gonna take that out because it's on the inside. I'm gonna remove that because it's on the inside. And I'm just gonna take that off as well. I have to grow off that way. This first branch is way too long, and I'm just going to bring it back. I want this to stay in focus to here. So we're going to have buds here, so I'm just going to cut back again, leaving for die back. Then buds are going to push. So it is pretty long. But now everything's set, ready to go. I just move that back there. So for 15p, as soon as I get close enough in, she stops focusing. Let's get in there. There you go. So that's the first one sitting pretty. Let's move on to the second one. And as I did say, a bit of a poo sandwich. So this one that's moving over now is what we call an ugly duckling. Only to be honest, she's not that great and I don't see her being very nice. So this, when I planted her up, I actually planted her up straight. And as you can see, she's fell. So she's been knocked over in the wind and she's laying that, so it should be like that and then going up. But nothing about this one is pretty. Everything is long internodally. So you can see internode there, and then it just shoots straight up all the way up to there. So what I'm going to do with this one, as you see them first nodes there, we've got a bud. I'm just going to cut right back to that. On this one, I'm just going to take it there and remove that whole section. I don't want a trim trunk as such. And then we've got these long gangly branches. So for the first one, I'll just bring it back here. And then I'm going to cut back to here and have that as my new leader. And then because we've got this first branch here, I don't want a directly opposite branch, so that has to go, I'm afraid. Well, let's get in, cut. So as I say, ugly duckling, hopefully potentially one day. She is short and stout. In fact, she's not stout, she's just short and ugly. But that's what we're left with. So if I put her on, that's what we've got. So when I come to repot her, we'll have to see what the roots are like. Hopefully all the roots don't come from this section. When I did repot her, obviously we had a nice root flare, but obviously she's fell over. So God knows what the roots are going to look like now. Well, that's what we've left with. I did say this was going to be a poo sandwich, everybody. So let's finish off with the nice one. That is an awful maple, but for 50p, I mean, it's basically for free, so I can't really argue. So come repot time, we'll put her in a new position. If all the roots are gone from there, you know, well, we'll see. We'll see what we can do with her. So that's the second one. Now this is the third one. The third one is a hell of a lot better. So this is like the first one from the first video. This is a lot better. So we're going up into from the start with the bottom of the trunk. We've got some nice twigging at the bottom. So we've got a couple of branches. We move up. She does split. And then straight on this first split, we've got again another split. Splits into two there, splits into two here. So we've got some nice branching. And then this main leader goes all the way up. We've got splitting everywhere. So again, if I just pull out, this is quite a nice little tree already. So I think all I'm going to do on this one is just snip and bring everything more compact, and then we'll just go from there. I don't really want to mess with this one too much, so it's quite pretty. So all I'm going to do is just bring everything back down, see where we're at, and then if we have to, we'll work from there. Do we lower it? Maybe not, but we'll start from the top and work our way. So let's move into the apex region. So here, we'll start here where it splits. So this one, I'm just going to go right here and here, bring it to 2. This branch, I'm going to cut here. We've got, it's unfocused, let's come back out. So we have the buds, I have to put my fingers behind. The buds right at the base there, they're going to force growth here. And then these ones where we've just cut, if I just move around, you can see the buds are going to be based just there. So they're going to cut from there. We're going to cut to these ones. This long branch here, I think we might have some buds towards the bottom ready to pop. Yep, so we'll cut to that. Slowly move down. We've got this branch we will leave alone. And then this branch on the next to it. So we have a split, so we have 2 branches here, on either side. I think, what do we do? Do we stick with the little one on the right, or do we stay with the left, which then goes up? So let's just cut them back for now and see what we want. We'll cut them there. Let's get rid of the ones on the right. No, wait. Let's leave them for now, do the rest, and then come back to see where the rest of the tree pans out. Because if everything goes to the right, we'll get rid of the right. If everything goes to the left, we'll get rid of the left. Come back on this one here. Trim these ones back here and here. Spin this round here. We've got a branch on the inside here, we're just going to snip out. I've got a bud on the centre, I'm just going to remove that with my finger. I've got a trident fork where it's died, just get rid of. Pull that back. And then these small branches towards the bottom, I am going to leave. Right. Now looking back at this, let's move up to the top. So if I spin, let's get back up, and we move from this angle let's pretend this is the front slash back or back. We need, I can't decide. That's going. So the decision on that one was, I've got branches here and here coming to the left to fill this space up. I've got nothing going to the right. So the right branch stayed for the meantime. And then I've got a bud there just going to pop off. And then hopefully I've got a bud here. But hopefully we can get some more branches down low. But here we go. Nice little trim. Maybe in the future we cut back to here, have this as the leader. But this is very straight section here, so maybe even further down. But that's how we're looking. Let's zoom out a little bit. We could even go further down if we wanted to. Here's a quick look of them all trimmed up again. So we've got that little ugly one right at the bottom. So she's going to be a tiny one for the time being. Come spring she'll push out and hopefully we'll get quite a bit of growth. Then just on the right we've got this slender one that's tall. But now she's set, she'll push out, throw some growth out, and we just let her thicken up. And then just to the left we've got this nicer looking one. All set, she is taller. But again, she's finally got some of that twigging on. Maybe a little bit too tall, but again, we've got to leave them to grow because they are quite thin at the bottom. They're not as fat as the other 15p maple from the last video. But that's them, all there, ready for spring. Oh, I'm bloody cold now. Anyways, 15p maples, that's the last of them. I hope you enjoyed this video. And it just goes to show, if you're in your local supermarket and you've got a couple of them on offer, you see, pick them up. You know, you can probably get them and turn them into something decent. I mean, I'm only 18 months into them and a couple of them are looking quite alright. Apart from that little stubby one, that's, yeah. But hopefully we'll get there with that one. Anyways, they're all trimmed up, ready to go for spring, and we're going to get some good growth out of those. If you liked what you're seeing, please do leave a thumbs up and leave me a comment. You know, you left me loads of comments over the last video with the maple, and I appreciate that. So leave me a comment on these and let me know what you think of these ones. And those of you that are subscribed, I do appreciate it muchly. And if you've not subscribed, please do, because it helps the channel going forward, and I appreciate every view that we get. So I'm going to leave you in this one. I'm cold and I'm going to go get myself a nice cup of tea. And I'll see you next week for the next video. And thanks for watching, everyone. See you later. Bye bye.